Why do you think that that's still so difficult for people to say, I made a mistake or I need to do this better or whatever? Why is being accountable such a hard thing for people to be?
Because nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody wants to be wrong. It's like the shame of not knowing, the shame of missing, the shame, like people get shamed so bad in the society. I'm not that famous, so I don't catch hell, but a lot of artists that I know who are famous, they put some out and it's just the vitriol, or if something happens, DUI or something, or anything, it's just this shame, man, and people don't want to be shamed. Or if you take a soccer mom gets caught in something, she doesn't want the shame of the other soccer mom. So I just think that's a human thing that people don't. My dog, man, my dog, he poop on the ground or something in the house, he doesn't want that shame. He's gonna be walking around with his head down. So it might even be an animal thing, mammal thing.
Gotcha. And I think too with Hey World, you talk about the like what are we fighting for? And we should be focusing on some of these bigger things like
Yeah,
cancer and AIDS, which you then put liars right next to them. So
yeah.
you think those three are like on this even playing field pretty much?
Definitely now, and I believe with this artificial intelligence coming, yeah, man, it's like, how are you going to be able to tell reality from some that isn't real? Like it's coming to that point. So yeah, validity, vetting, all that stuff is going to be necessary for your information. Not no job or anything, just the information you get. Say you're watching a fake CNN or saying a hurricane's coming and you're preparing for a hurricane. It was fake CNN. That's kind of where it could lead. A fake Gale, AI Gale. You know what I mean? Got 8 fingers or some shit, but who? It's going to get better. It's going. The technology is a snowball rolling down the hill. There's no stopping it, and it's going to get better, and it's going to get better. So we need to know the truth from, I mean, again, if you're flying a plane and you don't know the truth from something that isn't true, and we're talking about how high your plane is and where, you know what I mean? If you can't trust those things, then I think society will collapse. You got,
Yes.
yeah, you got to be able to believe that that light is turning red and that light's going to turn. You have to be able to believe that and know that, okay, this light's turning red and this light's turning green. When it switches, I can go through safe and they're going to stop. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's important to put into context. Um, Also on Cash Flow, Buddha and Shelter, you have the Yakub song, which begins and ends with the Farrakhan speeches.
Oh, wow.
So why did you want to frame the song with the beginning and ends with him on there?
Uh, Wrote the song first, so I had the song first with just the hook and the verses, and kind of didn't have a title for it or anything. And you're just in the lab scrolling through YouTube, just and again, you can never go wrong with Farrakhan, Malcolm X, or James Brown. Those three, if you don't know what to put, you're looking for some effect or something, go with those three, and you're gonna win in hip hop. So it was just going through some. I got the bar, black man teaches savage. I'm just like, okay, boom, yeah, I done taught a lot of these savage motherfuckers out here. And then I'm just thinking, okay, taught a savage, okay, y'all cool, boom, okay, that kind of makes sense. Let me see what Farrakhan talking about with y'all cool, motherfucker, woo. That's how it kind of worked.
Okay. Well, on Yakub too, you talk about poverty having no border, and you
Yeah.
also talk about and I know from talking to you and knowing you, you've done a lot of touring overseas. You talk about touring in the Eastern Bloc countries, especially. So and it's something Master Ace and I have talked about in detail. Check out my interviews with Master Ace if you haven't already. But the thing is that poverty not having any border, from your perspective and knowledge and what you've seen, uh, Ace and I talked about this, but I want your perspective. Like, people in the United States don't really understand poverty.
Yeah,
Uh,
they don't. They
we have
don't.
no concept of what actual poverty is.
Ooh, they don't understand poor. They don't understand selling potatoes in the snow. That's the only you got a store full of potatoes in Poland at a truck stop selling potatoes and punani. Because you got a potato stand here and you got the little bed right there. So the truck driver, again, you don't have any idea of the poverty and the crime in these Geneva, Switzerland. Okay, you fuck around Geneva, Switzerland outside that train station if you want. So again, we just don't have what they call first world goggles where we just see everything. We
Yeah,
don't not saying the countries are going to in Europe are third world countries, but it's a different type of poverty. Like especially before the Euro, before what was it, the European Union and the different countries weren't relying on each other as much. And you would see some shit, dude.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah. I remember one time I was in Czech Republic. And I met some American hoopers over there. I just did a show, and they're telling me, yeah, they get paid $12. You know, it's big money, like 12,000, 2,000 over there, but it ended up being like $12 of American money, and that's what they get paid per game. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, dude, shit's real, and don't go to South America. I've never been to South America, but yeah, fuck around Brazil and some of those slums around the world where like there's no escape. You get caught up in there, there's no escape.
yeah. So with all that being said, you've been rather prolific throughout your career, put out a lot of music, and again, I think your music, as I told you personally, Cash Flow, Buddha and Shelter, I thought was a great album. So I'm always glad to talk to you anyway. But when you have such a great project, I was excited that we'll be able to do it
Thank you
again.
so much, man.
But how do you look back and evaluate you as a person tied to you as an artist? Because the Lone Catalyst era, very different time in your life, decades ago, all this
Yeah,
stuff, and your mind, your experience, your travels, everything is so different than when I first met you in the 1990s. You know, you're not even living in the same state, you're married, you got a kid, you got all these different
yeah,
things, and you now collaborating with MC8 and Busy Bee and all this different stuff.
yeah.
So how do you evaluate the trajectory of your career when you really take a step back and look at it?
Well, happy that I'm still doing it. That's first and foremost. And I don't know, because when I got in the game, Soren, I was a corporate dude. So it was kind of like I'm coming from the corporate area, but I'm messing with these rappers who are go actually like the whole scheme of it is to go against the corporate record industry. So it's like, I got to get out these clothes I'm wearing to work and throw on my hip hop gear. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go through that for a moment. You know what I mean? Like just again, just changing my wardrobe, just getting a more hip hop wardrobe and less Saks Fifth Avenue wardrobe. That was a period. And then again, just like it was so driven against whack MCs, whack labels. It was just like we saw what they were doing to the industry. We were listening to it like, wait a minute, we were going like this, and now it's kind of the plane is flattening, and in some cases just going down further. So we were noticing that, and that became the cause of the whole movement. To fight that, whatever you're hearing on the radio, we're doing the exact opposite over here. So whatever they're doing on the radio, whatever the record label's doing, trust me, you come over here, you won't hear none of that shit. So that was the play for a long time, and then you only do that for so long. Talk about rappers, record labels, the man getting me industry rule for you can only do so many songs about that. So then I just started just tapping into myself. again, my cousins. I got cousins that are monsters, musicians, singers. So just start tapping into that. I was a bedroom keyboardist. Had a keyboard in my bedroom all through my teenage years, and never took lessons. So I just started just now. I got a keyboard I can mess with. So I was just starting to get into my musicianship outside of hip hop, but still hip hop. Not just turntables and beats and rhymes. I just kind of just wanted to see what the other talents that I was exposed to growing up. Not really singing, I do a little on some shit, but again, we used to play the keyboard when I was a kid. You know what I mean? We used to actually just me and my cousins and my dad. We used to just play the keyboard, and we know songs and getting back into that has been kind of fun where I'm at now. Now I got a kid and she reads music and she's galaxies beyond where I'm at with my music. So that's the fun part that I'm looking forward to next is seeing what she does. That's kind of what I'm interested in now.
Well, there it is. Well, Jay Sins, anything else you want to add before we bounce?
Man, please go listen to my album. That's all, man. Put a lot of work into it. Took me a long time to get it together, and I just hope you listen and I hope you enjoy it. Go and see Stevie Wonder next week in Baltimore Tuesday. So can't wait for that too. So big up Stevie Wonder. Can't wait for that. Me and my kid going.
Yeah, I've only seen him once, and I happened to be able to interview him that time.
Say
So
word.
it was amazing, and
Yeah.
he's now this was a while ago, but he was definitely putting it down still. So yeah.
He's the man. So yeah, man, everything's great, man. Just again, just happy the project's out, and I'm just going to just sit back and enjoy it being out.